All this morning, we have been talking about Rod Blagojevich's trip to federal court today. The former governor's federal arraignment on corruption charges is expected to be the beginning of a long, drawn-out legal process. Attorney Thomas Glasgow joins us this morning to explain a little bit more about what we can expect today in court and also down the road. Good morning. Nice to have you here.
Good to see you.
So his arraignment is this morning. We know that he is expected to plead not guilty, but what is the process like? How much will we hear from the prosecutor?
You're not going to hear a whole lot other than just the basic charges that have been brought against Mr. Blagojevich. He's going to go in, he's going to appear with his attorney, he's simply going to waive formal reading of the indictment, which he's entitled to have all the charges read. It's generally just waived. He's going to enter his formal plea of not guilty, and then they'll set a schedule for motions and a schedule for trial.
And actually, the motions are probably going to be plenty from now until when the trial actually happens, right?
That's correct. I mean, you're going to have a mountain of discovery to go through. You've got tapes, audio tapes, you've got consensual overhears, you're going to have documents, police reports, etc., that will be tendered to the defense at some point so that they can begin the review in preparation for the trial. And
when can we theoretically, expect this trial to happen?
It more than likely, federal courts are much faster than state courts, but you're probably going to see sometime next year, maybe possibly 2011, but more than likely next year sometime once you get through all the motions.
And what about the others who are indicted along with him? We also heard that there are a couple of them who have chosen to be tried separately. What does that mean?
They filed for a separate arraignment, which in this case, I think their attorneys are doing the right thing. They're attempting at the very onset of this case to separate themselves from Governor Blagojevich or former Governor Blagojevich so that they're not lumped into the same pot, if you will, as him, hoping that the trial can take a separate tack. They also may be putting themselves in another position in order to make agreements with the government in order to testify against Governor Blagojevich, but that's simply speculation at this point.
So by the fact that they are filing to be tried separately, that doesn't seem like to be a very good sign for it.
Well, they filed to be arraigned separately from him, so I just think at this point they just don't want to be in the same pot as former Governor Blagojevich.
And the others who are going to be arraigned with him will appear in court as well today?
They will, yes. They should.
And this is going to be a long process, as we said. This is just the beginning.
It is just the beginning. After this, we'll begin to see pretrial motions. We'll begin to see filings for continuance on behalf of the defense and probably minimization motions on behalf of the government, or excuse me, on behalf of the defense. The question that I have is whether he's going to be represented by counsel and who he's going to be represented by. The amount of material that's going to be gone through is just mountainous, and the amount of time, legal time, that's going to be taken to go over all this is probably going to rack up millions and millions of dollars in legal fees, and who is it that is going to be representing him is a big question. I believe Terrence Gillespie has filed for a withdrawal because he had a conflict with Bill Cellini from some previous legal dealings that he had.
It'll be costly for him and costly for the government as well through
That's
this
correct.
entire process. Thomas, thank you so much for coming in this morning. Thanks for your time. Certainly will